Starting a review channel seems kind of like a chicken and an egg scenario. You need products to review, but nobody's gonna send you anything until you actually have some reviews posted. So here are my steps, the steps that I've followed, even though I'm a fairly new YouTube channel, to kind of get where I've gotten in the last 2 years. Number 1, review what you have. Start small and review stuff that you already have. My very first review was on the Surface Pro 3. Now obviously that isn't starting small, that's a pretty expensive device, but I didn't really know I was going to be doing a review channel at the time. I just posted it because I purchased it, I had used to friends, I really liked the pen on it, I didn't see really any other artist reviews out there, so I posted my thoughts. It was still another year before I actually started this channel, like officially I think, and posting on a regular basis, but when I got the iPad Pro it was the same thing. I'd spent all my money on that, but I reviewed what I had around. I reviewed some old iPad styluses that I had lying around. I reviewed a lot of apps because apps were cheap for me. Since it was an illustration channel, it seemed like it kind of fit the theme of what I was already doing. Also, I was reviewing art programs because I could get a demo of, say, a $50 program without having to buy it. I could use it for a few weeks, get a feel for it, and do enough to actually have a review ready. Most people are going to ask a lot of questions whenever you post a review. That is great content for future videos as well. Now, like I mentioned, the Surface Pro is a very expensive place to start, so it might seem like an unfair comparison, and it probably is, but check out Marquise Brownlee's channel. He is one of my favorite reviewers working on YouTube today. His stuff is so good and so polished. His reviews are phenomenal. But if you go to his channel, check out his videos, and then sort by reverse order, you'll see that he was doing this 8 years ago. He was like a teenager. He was a kid. He was probably 14 or 15 years old, and he was reviewing anything he had. If he had a pair of headphones lying around, he reviewed it. If he had a computer program he was trying out, he reviewed it. And he did that for years, and he polished his work and slowly over time got better and better and became who he is today. Number 2, keep going. I think consistency is really important. Posting on a regular basis, get people used to that posting schedule, but also don't worry so much about the quality at the beginning. Don't let anything hold you back. Don't think I need to buy a $1,000 camera. Don't think you need to get crazy lighting. When I started, I just stared into my webcam on my computer, and over time I got more stuff. I got a better mic because I thought the sound quality would be more important than, say, the video quality. I've gotten better lighting. I still don't have a really nice camera. I'm looking at my phone right now. My philosophy is build as you go. Slowly get things. It's not like you've got to spend thousands of dollars right off the bat to start anything. Don't get too ambitious. Just enjoy making videos and enjoy the process and slowly grow it. Which takes us to number 3, improve. I very rarely take huge jumps in quality. Maybe if I get new lighting or one day I'm going to get that new camera, but what I try to do every single week is I want to say, what did I not like in that last video I made, and can I improve that a little bit? In my case, I'm making at least 1 video a week, sometimes 2, so if I can improve every video just a tiny bit, when I look back at it 6 months or a year from now, my video quality is going to be a lot better, and that seems to be the case with a lot of the stuff I do. It also keeps you from falling in the perfectionist trap of trying to put out that one amazing video. What you want to do is put out good videos and improve over time. Number 4, get free stuff. Finally, he gets to the free stuff part. So like I said, I did my first review over 3 years ago, about 3.5 years ago. I started taking this channel seriously 2 years ago, and it was really earlier this year, at the beginning of 2017, when I actually started to get free stuff. Part of the reason I'm making this video is because people ask me all the time, how do I start a review channel and get these people to send me the cool stuff that I want without having to pay for it? So I get that. It seems pretty cool, but you got to do a lot of work up front, because what they really want, what these manufacturers want, in my case, is that they want a lot of people to see your videos. And if you don't have an audience yet, you haven't kind of gotten to that point yet, they're not going to send you anything. I think I was around 20,000 subscribers before people started to contact me. It was really Wacom that kind of broke the mold for me and really got a lot of other people to take me seriously. And that was in like February of March of this year. And another thing I should also mention about free stuff is that it isn't always free. I always go into it with the assumption that I'm going to have to return it. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. But if you just reach out to somebody and say, hey, send me something for free, there's a pretty good chance that they won't reply. But if you ask, hey, what's your review policy, or do you provide units for review, oftentimes you'll get a much better answer. If you just seem like you're out to get something for nothing, it's much less likely that they're going to respond. Which brings us to number 5, be professional. What's that about? Nobody wants to wear a tie. It's not about that. It's more about behaving yourself. Think of it this way. A brand wants to associate with somebody who is reliable. So if you want to review, say, video games, you want people to send you codes to use their video games. So if you swear a lot and the game doesn't want to be associated with that, like someone like, say, Nintendo, they're probably not going to accept your channel if you're doing a lot of swearing or joking around with your friends and making off-color jokes. Even if you're just reviewing clothes, if you're really, really negative about a certain kind of style of clothing, even if it's not the kind of clothing that you are reviewing and wearing, that sort of thing, you know, says a lot about your personality, and maybe a brand doesn't want to be associated with any negativity at all. So keep that in mind. Now, this is where people get caught up. If you're reviewing something, you have to be honest. So the negativity that you have towards, say, a product you use that you don't like is totally different than just a negative vibe in general. That is really important to understand. And of course, if you're reviewing anything, it's important to be honest, especially on YouTube. Your audience is going to smell that kind of dishonesty or kind of that product plugginess a mile away. Is product plugginess a term? My point is that you can be honest without being a jerk. You can talk about what is wrong with something without burning it to the ground. Which leads me to number 6. Tell me why. Why is the most important word that a reviewer has. You have to tell them why you like something or why you don't like something. I've seen so many reviews and unboxings where people will look at it and say, oh, I don't like how this thingy over here works. You have to explain why you don't like it. If you explain why, you can get away with a lot. But if you don't explain why and you just say, I like this, don't like this, don't like this, you're standing on kind of thin ice. For example, I wasn't a huge fan of the XP Pen 13.3 that I reviewed a couple weeks ago. And the main reason why is because in a drawing tablet, what I want is the smoothest lines that I can possibly get. I do a lot of cartooning, I do a lot of inking, and so that's the major thing I was looking for. So when I used the tablet, I wasn't really a big fan of it. The lines were just a little bit too wobbly. But I didn't just focus on that for the entire video. It was a good chunk of the video, but I did go into detail as to why I didn't like the lines. I went into detail as to how I tested it so I could see how the lines were working and why they were doing what they were doing, that sort of thing. And then I also spent time to talk about other features of the tablet, maybe other things about the tablet that weren't so bad. And I was surprised in the comments how many people said, oh yeah, this sounds like a really good fit for me. When you focus on the why, you're not focusing on just the negative aspects of something. You're not focusing on just the positive aspects of it. What you're doing is you're just diving deeper, which is the information people really want to know before they buy something. So what's number 7? Number 7 is don't worry about making the brands mad. There were a couple times where I did reviews and I thought, oh man, they are not gonna like this. And there was one time where I thought, I'm never gonna hear from these people again because they wanted me to actually pull down the review, post another review, and I thought, I've already posted it. People are going to notice what's missing. This is going to be bad for you and for me, so I refused to do it. But at that point, I thought, well, I reviewed 2 of their devices. I guess this is the end of that relationship. I'm going to have to purchase things from here on out. But lo and behold, a couple months later, I get an email and they're talking to me again. At the end of the day, I think what they're looking for is honesty. If you're not too brutal with them, but you tell the truth, eventually there's a pretty good chance that they're going to forgive you. And really, your goal shouldn't just be to get free stuff. It should be to build a review channel, and the only way to do that is by being honest about the things you're reviewing. Because if a bunch of people buy something because you said it was great and it wasn't, they're going to come back at you. They are not going to be your audience anymore. They're going to complain in all the comments. They're going to call you out on Twitter, everywhere. It happens. Audience first, brands, manufacturer second. Number 8, keep your audience happy first. I guess I already said that. Number 9, find your own style. I could say find your own style, or I could say find your own niche. That's really important too. Once things start rolling, you're going to get emails from a lot of people asking you to review a lot of different things, but if they don't fit in your niche, it's probably not going to work for your audience, and your audience is going to float away. For example, I get a lot of things from people saying, hey, will you review this USB hub? And I'm thinking, it's not really an art device. I mean, it's technology, and I guess I review technology, but it's a USB hub. It costs $12. What am I going to really say about it? And not only that, but if I start reviewing every single thing that comes across my desk, like a robotic vacuum cleaner, yeah, someone offered that, the people watching these videos aren't going to tune in anymore. They're going to say, oh, he's got a lot of fluff on that channel. I'll pay attention later. You don't want that. You want to give your audience the stuff they want. Just because you can get some free stuff doesn't mean you should. Number 10, listen to the trolls. All right, so when I first started out, and I still get it today, it's YouTube. You're gonna get a lot of like mean comments, but if you dig deep enough, oftentimes there's actually some pretty good information in those. For example, one of the biggest criticism I received in the first year or so that I was doing videos was stop showing your ugly face and show the product instead. And even though everybody was always calling me ugly all the time, that was actually pretty good advice. People want to see the product less than they want to see me. Now, in a video like this, I don't really have a lot of product to show, so I'm sorry, you're going to have to look at my ugly face. But if you look at my reviews that I'm doing now and compare them to the reviews I was doing a year ago, it's like 90% product. Of course, that takes more time to do, but again, if you try to incrementally make your videos better and better and better each time you do it, you get used to it, you find a flow, and you learn how to do these things better. So that is my advice. Do you have any advice? Do you run a review channel? Do you have any other questions? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, I would like to really thank everybody who supported this channel this year. This is probably going to be my last video of 2017, so I want to say thank you to all of you who support me by clicking on my link, supporting me on Patreon, clicking the like, subscribe button, all of that great stuff. Thank you guys so much. I will see you next year.